You don't need millions to start investing. In fact, with as little as 5,000 naira or even less, you can start growing your money over time. But where do you even start? Stock, crypto, real estate? There are just a lot of options, and I know it can feel overwhelming, but don't worry, I've got you. Today we're going to be drilling on this and looking at different options, where to start and how to go about it. If that sounds like a good plan and sounds like what you'd like to hear, just click the like button and let's get right into it. So when must you start investing? Savings is very good. Like people would always say, save, save, save. But after you're done saving, you need to go a step further to invest. So when you have saved, move on to do your investments, because today's money is not the same thing as yesterday's money. The purchasing power for 1,000 naira today is not the same thing with what was able to buy 2 years, 3 years, even like a few months ago. And why do we say that? It is true. You notice that when you go to the market to buy things, what you would have used 5,000 naira to buy, you notice that currently you use maybe 25,000 or even more to buy them. So you need to put like in an edge that would guard your money so that you don't lose your money. Investing grows your money and it helps you beat inflation to a good reasonable amount of percentage, and then of course it works for you with time. I know that some people will come and push back and say that sometimes when you even invest, inflation is maybe at 30-something% now. Investment, some banks or some companies or some platforms will give you maybe 20%, and so it doesn't really match up. But hey, imagine that you didn't even get that 20% or that 5%. That means you've lost more than you would have actually had if you had invested this money and gotten some cash back or some payback from using an investment platform. And that brings me to the money growth pyramid. Like before you even start investing, you need to build some form of strong financial foundation. And let me just say this, I am not an expert in this. Actually, I would have said this earlier. I am just trying to grow my finances as well. I'm learning and reading things around it, and I just want us to do this together. Really just want us to grow together and have as much to play around with as possible, because the way things are going, the way the economy is going, you'd wake up and you'll be like, what's going on? I know that faith, of course, definitely works. I know that there is grace at this point, but you also have to do your own path, which is why we are bringing and learning on finances. And that's why I'm also letting you know that you need some form of financial education, some form of financial foundation to help you build this money pyramid. First one I would say is emergency funds. Don't go away. Don't say you've heard this before, but have you started implementing them? Have you started? Do you have an emergency fund? If you don't, that's the very good way to start. So you're just putting away like 3 to 6 months of your expenses, of your living expenses, 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. Just put it away somewhere. Just keep putting and saving money until you grow that amount of money. And how would you even know what it is if you don't know what your expenses are? So you need to first of all study yourself, take a note of what you spend every month. And I'm not talking of luxuries or your wants this time. I'm talking of the needs, the things that you actually need to survive on for a month. When you have taken account of that, do it for 2 months, and then now that amount of money that you need, you can add like an extra 10% to it or 20, depending on how you can buffer how much you would want to add. Now save money in a platform that would not just be deducting money. Please don't do the bank. Well, depending on what instrument you would want to use, whether in the bank or not, but please let it not be in your savings account. So you save in a place, just keep putting money there until you have grown into a certain stage, until you've grown into that amount of money that you want to grow it to. It's really very good to have an emergency fund, trust me, because sometimes things come up and you will not want to have to sell your investment at a loss just because you need to fix life crisis, right? Sometimes the life crisis could be way more than your emergency fund. But hey, have something saved up, have a buffer that you can always lean on. Imagine that you need 10 million naira and you have saved 6 million naira, or you need like 100,000 naira and you have saved 60k somewhere that you can easily access. Then you're now looking for just 40k, as against when you don't even have anything at all. So where do you get the 100k from? So please don't have to sell at a loss your investments just because you don't have any place to fall back on. Now that you have built an emergency fund, it will be good to now start saving from the low risk investments, just for you to have a safe growth. You need to learn in the process safe growth, low risk investments. So for this, you can start with fixed income investments like the treasury bills, like mutual funds, money markets. Fixed deposits are also very good to start from. So these are instruments that would give you just some form of an edge, very small, maybe very minimum or small returns, but you're sure to a certain extent that your money is safe. Government bonds, so these are just very safe platforms that you can explore, and you can start from there. Low risk, but definitely some form of return that is not just going to be having your money lie low on a bank account. When you have gotten some form of balance with your low risk investments, you can now move on to the growth investments. These are like higher risk. They are like your real estate, your crypto investments, forex investment, stocks. So here you'd see that you're bringing in maybe more or even still less money, but the chances are not very certain. They are not fixed. You don't really know how much or how well your investment is going to pan out over time. You can use proxy data or history and have like a trend analysis, but you're not very certain as to what exactly these returns are going to be. But still, it's good to have some form of some money also put in these places, because when the returns go well, they go really very well. Now that we have talked about places that we can start, and I'll go a step further to know how to even start up these investments with very little money, like 1k, 5k, anything at all, very little money. Some investment apps like Bamboo, RiseVest would allow you to invest with very little money, very little, like 5,000 naira, and you invest in foreign stocks. So this is a good way to start. Also, PiggyVest, Cowrywise, they're also very good platforms that can help you with some form of return with very little amount of money. I'll pick these applications one at a time. I know I had also spoken about PiggyVest earlier on this channel, so you can just go back to it and have a look and watch it and also learn about it. For the other ones, I'm going to bring them to you at a much later time, but you can also check them out. The second one I will say is dollar cost averaging. So DCA is just a form of investing, it's just a form of investing little by little instead of having to put a whole chunk of money at the same time. As I mean, you want to invest 5,000 naira to buy an Apple share or to buy a stock, for instance. So you'd have so using dollar cost averaging is just to be taking small chunk of the total money you want to use to buy at different points in time. So maybe the market is low in January, and then at maybe ending of the month you just use 1,000 naira and buy and keep, and then maybe in February the cost of that stock was maybe 100 naira in January, but now it is 150 naira. You just take another 1,000 naira and buy and leave it. Then maybe in March it has dropped to 80 naira. You buy again and you keep. In April it is now 60 naira. You buy and keep. If you check it over time, and by checking it over time, you just sum like the amount of money you used to buy it, and then the costs that the coins or the stock was at those points, and then just take an average of it. You would see that maybe if you do 60 plus 80 plus 100 plus 120 plus 150, it would average out instead of having to buy the full 5,000 naira at 150 naira. So this is just what dollar cost averaging is: buying with different low amounts at different times that would eventually turn out to be better than buying everything at the same time, going in with everything at the same time. The third one will be compound interest investment. So investments that give you like a compound interest instead of a simple interest. So it has a way of turning over, of putting back the money, the interest that it has gotten back into your capital over time. So what this helps you to do, what this means is that if you use say 5,000 naira and you have an interest that gives you 500 naira, so when you do it like for a compound interest, you're also getting an interest on the 500 naira when it has rolled over. So it just helps you to grow your money in a faster way over time. You notice that you're not struggling, you're not adding extra money, you're not working extra time, you're not bringing in another money from somewhere to fund the one that you already have. So it's just a very good way to fasten what you're doing. The only thing is that sometimes people are just very angry that they will have to take 20 years or 10 years or maybe a longer time to make your money, because that means you're not eating from that money. But look at it on the brighter side, it's still very good. Avoid these 3 risks, please, that a lot of people always make. First one is just chasing get rich quick schemes. Sometimes when it sounds too good to be true, trust me, it probably is. So you need to just check it very well before you go in. A lot of Ponzi schemes, a lot of things come up, and you look at it with one eye, and your gut feelings are telling you that this is not really genuine. What exactly funds this project, and you're not able to answer those questions. Please have a relook, because Ponzi schemes will still be Ponzi schemes, and they'll do what Ponzi schemes will do. If not today, definitely tomorrow. That brings me to the second one, which is these mistakes are not researching before you get in. Like, someone just tells you something and you're already running into it, especially when you see that it's high risk, high reward, like they always say. You need to check, always do a research and understand what the platform is, or maybe just listen from trusted sources before you can go ahead and make any form of investment. It's going to save you a lot. The third one is investing without a goal. Like, this is also another mistake people make. You just want to put out money there. The same way you just put out money there is the same way you withdraw the money. If you don't have a focus or you plan, okay, I want to put this form of money together, and at the end of when it's complete, I would use it and go into real estate. I'll use it and buy a house. I'll use it and buy a refrigerator or anything. Just have a goal that drives you, that makes you use the money you want to make an investment, that drives you to save money instead of having to use it to buy shawarma or anything of that sort. So just have a goal, have something that is driving you. Don't just save for saving's sake. See, investing isn't really as complicated and as much as they always say. Just start from where you are. Start small. Don't wait till your money is very big before you take the first step. Start from where you are and just go through the journey as you grow along. So if you found this helpful, please subscribe if you've not. Give me a like and let me know in the comment section what investment option you would be going for. And we'll definitely be growing in this journey together, because we are all learning just to get better at this investment and finance journey. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.